Hello, my name is Patrick Beck, and it's been a while since I've done a tutorial, but I'd like to do one on an easy way of setting up depth of field for the camera. What I like to do is use the channel follower and a null. So I'm going to add a null, call it DOF Null. I'm going to parent it to the camera. And I'm also going to zero out the null. So it is writing right on top of the camera right here. Lock off the X and the Y, so I just have Z, just because I'm dumb and I do things. Now the trick is, I go to my camera properties, turn on my depth of field, default it to 1 meter. You can just see the bounding circle for the depth of field here. What I'm going to do, go into the envelope, focal distance, into modifiers, and suggest channel follower. In channel follower, I'm going to go to the DOF null, select the Z position, and you can see already it's affecting the depth of field. I'm also going to zero out my starting depth of field at 0. So what I have here is my depth of field is going to be following going to be changing according to that depth of field null. Let's take that off. I'm going to load up a classic example scene here. This is showing depth of field in native Lightwave. Let's do this. So I'm going to do the same thing. Add a null, DOF null. Okay. It's at 0. Parent in place turned off. Okay. And I'm going to parent it to the camera. Go to my camera properties. Now, set my focal distance to as close to 0 as it will allow. Channel follower, channeler, Z position. And that's at 0. Okay, I'm going to grab, you want to grab the camera, grab my DOF object, so we see I've moved it over to the fuzzy, which is ironic since that's in sharp. Now on this side, I'll go over here and keyframe it to the sharp. And you can see by moving that null, I'm easily adjusting my depth of field. This is really handy. Let's see, 0 and 10. Okay, say I have my camera way over here, and I want to keep my sharp object sharp. Move that there. Back to the first frame. Move my depth of field. Oh, let's move the camera too. Object sharp. Go a little more ridiculous with my f-stop. So it's really easy to eyeball where my focal point is. Now this is set up in Lightwave. I am also an Octane user. So to tie this into Octane, I'm going to go to Open Editor. Okay, I've got nothing going on here. Let's go to the default setup. Open my IPR window. So you see even though my Lightwave camera has depth of field, my Octane camera does not. So I'm going to go into my camera thin lens. Actually, I'm going to get my camera item, and this is our Lightwave camera. It's really easy to hook these together, but there's about two things you have to know. First of all, I'm going to go to focal distance to focal depth, and you see nothing happens. That's because you have to turn off autofocus, and you have to crank up your aperture. Let's do a ridiculous amount. So you see the same thing is happening with the Lightwave camera as it is with the Octane camera. So once again, super simple to set up. Get your camera item and just do a search camera. There's my camera, focal distance into focal depth. Remember to turn off your autofocus and turn up your aperture. And there you go. Thanks. I'm Patrick Beck.